Welcome to a tiny bug video essay in which I talk about something that literally nobody cares about. But this is really important, so please bear with me. Something big, and I mean really big, is happening to Big Hit Entertainment right now. Big Hit is going public in October. They're filing for an IPO. I've been following news about this for months, and this is a huge deal for anyone who's a fan of BTS, TXT, or even 17, Newest, and GFriend. Now, if you're the average young person without very much investing or finance knowledge, you probably have no idea what this even means, so I'm going to do my best to explain it, and talk about some of the more serious effects this may have on Big Hit content. First off, just so we're all on the same page, I gotta teach you some very basic info about how corporations work. There are basically two kinds of companies, private and public. A company that is privately owned means that it's owned in most cases by its founders, upper management, or a small select group of investors. This is Big Hit right now. It's predominantly owned by Bang Se-hyuk, or as most fans know him, Hitman Bang, the founder and one of the CEOs of Big Hit. Their next biggest shareholder is Netmarble, a gaming company that's headed by Bang's cousin. Netmarble, by the way, are the ones that just made that BTS Universe game. The rest of the company is probably owned by other management and staff at Big Hit, members of Bang's family, or other smaller investment firms. But at the moment, Bang still pretty much owns this company. He can do what he wants with the company, and he will bear the responsibility and consequences for any decision that's made. Then there are public companies. A public company is one that has sold all or a portion of the company to the public through an initial public offering, or IPO. Afterwards, members of the public who want to own a part of that company, or a share of that company, can. You're called a shareholder, because you hold shares. You can own a teeny tiny piece of that company, or if you're really rich, you can buy a lot of shares and own a whole bunch of that company. If the company does really well and makes a lot of money, you have a claim to earn based off the profits and assets of the company. If the company tanks and goes bankrupt and implodes, you're going to lose that money you invested. Essentially, investing in a public company is like long-term gambling. But this means that under a public company, management can't necessarily do whatever they want. They need to do what's in the best interest of their shareholders. And more importantly, they need to take actions that attract new shareholders and retain the ones they already have, by proving that the company will remain profitable in the future. Right now, in K-pop, there are only 5 public entertainment companies. You can probably guess which ones. SM, JYP, YG, FNC, and Cube. They're sold on the Korean Stock Exchange, and basically anyone can own a piece of these companies. And pretty soon, Big Hit will be joining them. So, what are the effects of Big Hit going public? Like, why the heck does this really even matter? Well, I will say that a lot of fans I see talking about this online are not really talking about it in the right way. Most fans see this as an overwhelmingly positive thing for the company. Something Big Hit earned by being such an amazing financial powerhouse, something they deserve because of BTS's unprecedented level of success, something that fans, through their dedicated support, allowed to happen. And there are elements of this that are somewhat true. But Big Hit going public is not necessarily a positive thing. It's a double-edged sword. There are definitely some benefits, but there are also some disadvantages. The benefits of taking your company public are pretty clear. You raise a lot of capital for your company by doing this. It's money that you can spend opening up a US headquarters, or building a big fancy set for your survival show, or purchasing a smaller label, or hiring an animation team, or buying confetti cannons. It's money that you can spend to grow and expand your business. And this money opens up a lot of opportunities for really spectacular content to be made in the future, as well as the potential for Big Hit to expand further into markets previously untapped by K-pop, like books or video games or who knows what else. And if you're a shareholder in Big Hit like Bang or Netmarble or the members of BTS or any of the thousands of people who are going to buy stock next month, there's a good chance, at least right now, that you will make a lot of money because of this. The members of BTS were all granted pretty generous stock holdings just prior to the IPO, which makes them that much more loyal to the company going forward. Any financial success for Big Hit as a whole will now also be a major financial win for the members of BTS. Every member of BTS is going to be $8 million richer because of this. And Bang is on course to become one of the most wealthy people in South Korea. So that's the very obvious celebratory benefit of this. But now let's talk about the drawbacks. There are lots of disadvantages for the company itself, mainly in that Big Hit will now be required to disclose a lot of their financial information and be subject to harsher government regulations, which means that they can now be scrutinized for making poor financial decisions or doing shady, illegal things. But this isn't really a disadvantage for the fans. However, there is a big disadvantage to going public that has a much greater impact on fans, Big Hit artists, and the future of their content. You can certainly disagree with me, but I actually think a great deal of K-pop content that's released by public entertainment labels, where you watch it and you feel like you've already seen an incredibly similar music video or song released before, is not necessarily due to a failure or lack of ingenuity by their creative departments, which is what many fans immediately assume, but is more so the label caving under the pressure and financial expectation of their shareholders. If you released a music video that was massively popular and made a lot of money, your shareholders and upper-level executives want that to happen again. They don't want to see you taking the group in a completely new direction or making decisions that might not pan out. They want the reliable safety of what's been financially lucrative and successful in the past. Unfortunately, when you're talking about creative content, this mindset is really counterproductive. Fans are not likely to enjoy content or support groups that just release the exact same thing over and over again. They want to see something new. I think one of the major strengths of BTS has been in Big Hit's ability to continually reinvent the group. Their musical styles and visual concepts have been incredibly varied, adventurous, and unexpected. And I genuinely hope that going forward, Big Hit will make it their priority to continue to release new creative content for their fans, and not stagnant, uninventive products for their shareholders. And honestly, the real losers in this situation might not be the future of BTS, but 17. The group is younger than BTS. Big Hit will be producing their content for a good amount of time, and unlike BTS, who were already under the label, 17 didn't choose Big Hit. They were bought in the acquisition of Pledis. And if BTS ends up going to the military, 17 will inherit the role of being Big Hit's primary revenue source. And let me just make it very clear that I'm not interested in any kind of Big Hit interference in 17 content. I want to continue to see art that is self-produced by the members in whatever creative direction they choose. I don't want Big Hit management to make changes to the self-production model of 17 for the sake of making more money. I still maintain that no matter whether the label is private or public, the entire goal driving K-pop entertainment labels is to make money. I mean, if your company's main goal is something other than earning money, you're literally called a non-profit. But large public companies do have this tendency to stifle creativity and individuality in favor of more corporate regulation, control, and financial gain. And since this is unsustainable, it eventually leads to their downfall, which is essentially just the life cycle of capitalism. Big Hit's IPO has the potential to be both an extremely positive and a negative thing for fans of Big Hit artists. And I think it is important as fans that we hold Big Hit accountable, that we demand that they continue to make music and artists for healing, that they continue to make content for fans, that they continue to take risks and not make uninspired hype content just to financially please their shareholders. I'm supportive of the company taking this move. I think it's really incredible to see how much this entertainment label has grown over the years. I just hope that after they go public, Big Hit will continue to release the kind of innovative content that made their group successful in the first place. Thanks for watching this Tiny Bug video essay. I just wanted to put in this end screen disclaimer that I do not really advise K-pop fans go out and buy Big Hit stock. There are actually a whole bunch of reasons why it may be a really bad idea for you to purchase shares of Big Hit directly after their IPO. And this has absolutely nothing to do with my personal feelings about Big Hit. I just want to say that investing should not be done as a fan activity. There are lots of ways to financially support artists and content that you love, and buying stock should not be one of them. Okay, that's all. Love you.